Is One Piece worth watching? I don't think so. You're better off just watching some movie or even a DC film, which is more entertaining and more grounded in reality than watching One Piece. People seem to think that this anime thing is real interesting. But if you break down someone like Monkey D. Luffy, you will see that he's very goofy, insecure, doesn't understand the world, and yet he's the hero. Why is that? Why is it the most absurd looking person, the one with the least amount of common sense, the leader of the Straw Hat Pirates? Is One Piece worth watching? I don't think so. I think that you should really find something else to watch. Stop being this nerdy anime type guy who's watching all kind of anime. It's played out. One Piece is played out. And I haven't watched One Piece in years. One, it's too long. Two, the character designs are so terrible. I mean, they're so ugly. I saw one of them wearing fishnets, something similar to what women wear, and it was a dude. I think it was Caesar Clown or someone like that. One Piece is just corny. And I know it's the highest grossing shonen in history, but just because something is popular doesn't mean it's good. People gravitate to a lot of negative stuff. One Piece provides nothing for people who are serious. One Piece has been going on since 1999, so damn near 18 years. One Piece has been up, and people have been watching One Piece relentlessly, hoping that Monkey D. Luffy will find the One Piece. And yet, they are wasting their time. A story doesn't have to be long to get your attention. Case in point, you have animes that actually produce excellent stories within 50 plus episodes. No, I was really harsh on anime saying that it made men weak. But it can only make you weak if you allow it to make you weak. So it's important that I show you the weaknesses that anime promote. One, it promotes it promotes being chickless. There's nothing worse than being a 18 plus year old man and not have a girlfriend. It's absolutely ridiculous. Two, it gives you unrealistic expectations when it comes on to many endeavors, whether it's friendships, relationships, your career, etc. Three, it's childish and immature. Four, it's so weird. Five, too much of one thing is not good. So put down the anime. See it for what it is. It's just entertainment. If you would replace anime with something more constructive like a real movie that depicts reality and shows you perspectives that anime can't touch because anime is so fake, and people want to dive into this fantasy world. to get away from their problems. I understand. That's why we have liquor, that's why we have drugs, to escape our problems. Anime is an escape. But why would you want to escape reality? A reality is only bad if you think it's bad. But if you learn to think more holistically, I'm not saying that you strictly omit negative thoughts, because a negative thought will warn you of incoming danger if need be. So when people say omit all negative thoughts, there are going to be negative thoughts popping up in your mind for a good reason. I'm saying learn to think more holistic. Think about things from a positive point of view and a negative point of view. Anime has its positives, yes, it gives you something to connect to. I agree. You connect to the characters, but the drawbacks are very detrimental to your growth as men. Sorry, ladies, I don't really consider anime for ladies because it's mostly men that watch it. And you've seen the side effects, ladies. The guys who watch a ton of anime, they don't inspire you women, they don't excite you. And I get it because they're not being real men. They're not tackling the world, they're tackling the anime. Sooner or later, they're going to be tackling a doll and not you. That's just how it is. In Japan, there are a ton of men right now. Right now, they are labeled as herbivore men because they don't want to date. They seem very insecure and overly sensitive. They're not even nice guys. They're worse than nice guys. They're supreme wusses. There's nothing wrong with being a nice guy, but being a nice guy, it puts you in a position where a lot of women will think you're weak because you're being too nice to them. Not all, but some. But these men, the way they behave like wusses, like spineless cowards. They would rather focus on doing stupid stuff than go out and try to push forward and become a successful member in society and find themselves a nice woman who would have sex with them, or find a girl who they'll marry, then have sex with her. It's perfectly understandable when two young people, man and woman, come together and decide to have sex. Perfectly understandable. But these guys who watch a ton of anime don't want it. They want to be herbivore men. And I just can't understand the thinking of these men. What's wrong with them? Why can't they see that it's not about the anime, it's about you and your future as men? You can't sit in your basements watching anime 24/7. Don't be like For Never World. Don't be like Double Four Anime. Don't be like Tyrone Magnus. Don't be like these guys. Tyrone Magnus can get away with it because he's a black guy and he's fairly decent looking. And his girlfriend doesn't even care. I don't really know if she's still with him. I'm talking about Sarah. But you get where I'm going with this. It doesn't work for everyone. If you're going to watch anime, be aware of the downsides of it. You alienate a lot of persons when you watch it constantly. It's like a drug addict. He constantly takes it because he wants to feel another high from it. Anime is entertainment. It's just like sex, entertainment. Men, I encourage you to learn to talk to women, speak to them more professionally, learn to communicate with them on all levels so that they won't think you're boring, and then she will become your entertainment and not the anime. Put down the anime, understand that It wasn't meant to be abused, and it wasn't meant for you in a good way. Every single anime nowadays has some negative thing that's trying to curve you into. Take a look at this. If you look at the facts, there are so many men who watch anime and they don't realize that it's emasculating them in so many ways. They fail to pick up on the smallest details of interacting with their peers. They lack the aggression that men need to survive in a tough society that's against men. And I'm giving you the male perspective because I don't really understand the female point of view when it comes on to anime. I know because I was an anime geek watching anime, anime. And to this day, I can strongly say that I am disappointed in a lot of men for not having more discipline and saying that, hey, I'm not going to watch this thing ruthlessly as I used to. Let me see it for what it is. It's all about the money. What does anime really do for me? Is it an interesting story? Or is it just a way for me to spend my money and promote negativity? And people may say it's not negative. It is. Anything that restricts you from becoming your full potential is negative. It could be even your parents. If they restrict you from becoming your full potential, then they are negative. Doesn't mean that they are evil, but they are negative. Could be a bad girlfriend. If she restricts you from going out and doing what you need to do to survive, to make money, then she is negative. If anime is restricting you from concentrating on more important stuff, if it's really inhibiting you from taking a more mature look at the world, then you are an anime nerd and you need to put down the anime. Anime is an addiction which people don't want to break, and it's the worst addiction because it's a subtle addiction of fantasy. The fantasy addiction will be the doom of many men because men are being like, I hate to say this, they're being like girls because girls like to think in terms of fantasy. They like to fantasize about a lot of stuff. But no, it seems like men are fantasizing more. I blame porn, anime porn, all that sick shit. And the women are being more destination oriented. They're thinking about finishing school early, getting a job, building a home, raising kids. The men are really waiting, going, looking at sites, focused on the journey and not the destination, being distracted more. They seem to be more in fantasyland than focused on the journey. Anime, bruh. Anime. Anime has been doing this to men for the past 20 to 30 years. In the earlier days, I have to say, animes like Dragon Ball Z and Yu Yu Hakusho were spot on. They were not as terrible as the anime that you see now. The anime that you see now has an open agenda that's so blatant it's not even funny. The agenda is to weaken you. That's all it is. To weaken you. And you must stop, think, and learn to conquer your vices. Anime is not for you, it's for children, immature kids who refuse to grow up. As I was a child, I thought like a child. But when I became a man, I decided to put away childish things. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but you know what that means. It's time to put away childish things. Put the anime down. Understand that it's just anime. It's just anime. Don't be led by the fighting, the intense screaming, the big boobs. Don't be led by what your friends are saying about the episodes. Hey man, it was up. It was so good. The episode, it was canon, bro. It's canon. Don't be led by those thoughts. See it for what it is. It's just anime. This is Jack Blacker 66. Thank you.